All right, welcome back to Pioneer Sports Extra, your go-to source for in-depth coverage of the Boswell Pioneers.
I
This
don't
is
think
C.
mine are on.
Yeah,
I think
you're
mine.
good.
We
I can
can't
hear
hear
you.
your coach.
Okay. I don't have any ear. Let me see.
How's that?
Okay.
Kind of felt like it was going to go the way the Braswell game did, the way the Mansfield game did, but the kids overcame. And so, what stood out most for you about that team's performance, and do you feel like that carries over into this season?
One of the things that sticks out about that game is, uh, we were at that point in the season before the game, and those kids had continued. They hadn't kind of fallen off and gone their own direction. Easy to do. It happens at places it happens at places when you're doing that, when you're going through the season that we were going through. And so I was glad that they stayed the course and uh, they saw that the things that we were preaching as coaches of being consistent and always showing up and doing your best and things like that, that it does yield successful results. And I think that's what I'm glad that I got to witness that. And like I told Coach Ab fairly quickly after that game, I was like, I wish they'd gotten to experience that feeling more, because if you watch that game, especially the film and how they reacted after we won
Yeah.
championship or the Super Bowl, that it mattered that much to them. And so I just want that level of success to be experienced by them weekly.
Looking at the players you have this year, of course, we didn't lose a whole lot of seniors because we didn't have that many to start with. But who has stepped up in the off season? Are there any returning guys or younger players that the fans should keep an eye on as we get ready for the kickoff?
We're gonna have a lot of those guys that were young last year that they're gonna step into more prominent roles, but uh, you know, on the offensive and defensive lines, uh, we're going to be a year older. Ola Uribe, James Washington, Edgar Trevino. We're expecting big things from them, along with Ashton Davis. And uh, Edgar's going to be a sophomore. He was one of our hardest workers, and he's already one of the best guys along the D line so far through practice and one scrimmage. On the offensive line, we've got Kyler Davis and Braden Meeson returning, and then we've got some guys that played a little bit last year, Kelly and Mwamba, and Hudson Norwich was up at the end of the year playing. He was a true freshman last year, and he played in that Lake Ridge game, and so all those guys are back, and so it's it's been fun to watch those guys mature through practice and off season and everything. And so I would say, our up front guys are going to be a lot more seasoned than we were maybe a year ago.
One thing that fans always wonder, are there any tweaks or new wrinkles in the playbook this year, or is it more about refining what already works?
No, like I said, we went and talked to TCU and SMU, and we took some things that they do, and we tried to make them fit uh, how we do things, and and so there will be a different look to our offense and defense this year, uh, just because it's we try to put the kids that we do have in positions to be successful, and so everybody knows that we have chance at running back, and so uh, we've tried to do things that uh, showcase his abilities, and then we've also done things that showcase other guys' abilities to take pressure off of Chance at the same time. So we're not going to be a one horse show. Um, we like to spread the ball around. We like to be balanced, and balance for us is a lot of guys touching the ball and a lot of guys getting carries or receptions or whatever it is. And on defense, um, you know, uh, you'll see us line up some different ways than maybe we've done in the past. And I think through an inter-squad scrimmage and the scrimmage versus Birdville, I've been very pleased with how we've tackled and how physical we've been on defense. And so that's something that we're going to definitely cultivate as the season goes on.
I also got to watch the film on the Birdville game. Was really impressed by the quarterback play and the wide receivers. Looked like they did a really good job against that Birdville defense. Talk about that group.
Yeah. Juju's got a year more in the offense, and Tyler Reyes, who played quarterback during that Lake Ridge game, we're going to be able to use both of them at times during the season. And but Juju has that much more of a command of the offense. He's done really well in two-a-days and through the first practices of school. Um, Tyler's got a different skill set that makes him dangerous. Receiver wise, coming back is Peyton Rhodes. He's definitely the leader of that group, and we've had some guys come back from baseball that wanted to play football again, and they'll be out there. So, we'll have Jaden Barboza. We got Porter Stevenson, who's just like talk about consistency. That kid is just very, very consistent in his work ethic and his improvement and his play on the field. And then we've got some guys that are going to step up, like Lamar Isidore uh, has is been a pleasant surprise. He's a quiet kid. He doesn't say much, but man, he's stepped out on the field and he's looked good through practice and through the scrimmages.
What does success look like for the Pioneers this season? What's it going to take to get there?
Well, I think we have to improve every week, and we have to be consistent in our preparation. We have to be consistent in our level of effort in practice. It's you're dealing with high school kids, and so they're being pulled 1,000 different directions. But uh, we've got to get them to where whatever's going on in their life, their football is a safe space for them, and they can forget about that for 2 hours in the morning when we practice, and they can forget about it for 3 hours on Friday night or Thursday night when we play, and they can just go play as fast as they possibly can and be focused and be awesome at what we're asking them to do. Um, and then I think you'll see the win total improve dramatically from what we had last year.
Well, that's awesome. That's a look at the off season, but we are in 2025, and we're ready to get the season kicked off. And this week, the Pioneers face off. They travel to Denton Braswell to face the Bengals in a rematch from last year. The game is at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and we will be there as well. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about that game and what the coach expects versus the Bengals.
Off of 73 through 35.
Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle from the rent raise. Let her show you how to become an owner and not just a landlord. Help with rent collection, maintenance, and inspections. That's All County Property Management.
When you make money, we make money. Low vacancy rates, full web access, low monthly fee, no hidden or extra cost. Connect with us from a wide range of devices, your smartphone, tablet, and computer. So before you rent your next property, call us. Check us out on Facebook, Boswellsports, Twitter, Instagram. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today. All County Property Management, 817-567-2500.
Meet Kim Miller. She All right, we are back. You're watching Pioneer Sports Extra live from Red's Barbecue, where the Pioneer footballs take center stage. Let's change our focus as the Boswell Pioneers look ahead to big time week one, non-district matchup, a road trip against the Denton Braswell Bengals. Coach, last season's game against Braswell was one of the most intense matchups of the year, back and forth all night until they pulled ahead in the final few minutes at Pioneer Stadium. What do you remember most about that game, and what did it reveal about your team?
I remember we started off very hot offensively. We didn't punt in the first half. I think we scored a touchdown on every single series in the first half, and it was a close game. And we had a two-score lead going into the fourth quarter, and we did not protect it. And late in the game, we went. I told the coaches, I said we're going for it on fourth down here. We had a fourth and less than a yard, and didn't get it, and it was right around midfield. And if we picked it up, it would have been ball game and 1-0 Pioneers. But uh, credit to Braswell, they stopped us and picked out a play that worked, and they scored nearly from midfield right there. And it was, I remember just the feeling of we let one slip away, and so uh, I was proud of our effort at that time, and proud of our, just how we continued to battle from start to finish. But we've got to do a much better job of this year finishing out those games, because I think uh, Braswell, Haltom, Mansfield, Weatherford, like we all had chances to win those games, and let it get away in the fourth quarter of the second half. And so those games, like, we've got to finish. We have to find a way to finish and seal the deal.
Do you contribute that to youth?
Uh, not 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 particularly. Like, yeah, that's, I guess you could say that's part of it, but it's that's a learned skill, if you're a coach, in my mind. Like, you can teach guys to be finishers, and that goes back to your culture, and how you prepare, how you condition, how you practice. And that was one of the things, going back to an earlier question, is we were a lot more meticulous in off season. We held their feet to the fire on every little thing, uh, because those little things that we didn't do in the fourth quarters of last year might have been the difference. We don't, like, yeah, you play the entire game, but your uh, your habits come to light late. And so if it was a mental deal of just, maybe some guys were, I'm tired, and so I'm not thinking about taking the proper step now, or I'm tired and I'm thinking about, just, I just want to survive this next play instead of I want to go make the play. And so it's there's any number of things. And so, like, whether you're young or a lot of experience, like, obviously the more experienced guys have been in that battle before. And so this year we're going to have experience. We're going to have experience in those situations. And so going forward this year, like I said, the expectation for me and the coaching staff is that we find a way to complete the game, and get a W.
I don't think I ever in 20 years asked Coach Ab this particular question, but